just take us through the game. Had a 2-point lead at half, but they were able to extend that out and kind of control the second half there.
Well, yeah, I felt like didn't end the first half on a good note. As good as we ended the half last night, it was almost the opposite. We were up, I don't know, you guys probably have looked at the play-by-play, but we were up 4-5 with about 4 minutes to go in the half, and end up down 2 at the end of the half, or at halftime, and felt like we maybe took some quick shots, didn't take our time and run our stuff to end the half, and just kind of didn't finish the half well. And I felt like if we settled down and ran our stuff, we'd be okay. In the second half, we played real well in the second half all year long. Come out in that second half, and we had some good looks. Felt like we had 2 or 3 shots that would normally hit. They didn't go in. They made some tough shots on the other end, and I felt like we were playing pretty good basketball. We just couldn't get the ball to fall. And then when they stretched the lead to about 9, I felt like we kind of I wouldn't say we panicked, but I felt like we started trying to do a little bit too much.
A little pressure.
Yeah, I just felt like, hey, we're down 9, so we've got to do something. We got to make something happen. And I felt like we had a lot of time. We just need to settle down and play. But they made a lot of shots in the second half. We couldn't get shots to fall. I think once we didn't get shots to fall, they fed off of that a little bit. They got some energy, got some easy baskets. They were really able to get the ball to the basket, and and then once you get down 14-15, you start maybe trying to do some things that you hadn't had to do all year. We had to extend defensively, and they're so athletic. When you extend, it makes it tough. But it was never a lack of effort. I think we played hard, and we played hard till the very end. And we talk about it. As long as you're playing hard and giving us great effort, it's our job as coaches to coach you and figure out ways. And some nights it's your night, some nights it's not. And we just can get the shots to fall. So, but I love my kids. I think our kids played hard all year long, and they bought into everything we asked them to do. And as long as we do that, and I feel like we got good kids doing it the right way, we can live with the results. And that's the way it was tonight. That's the way it ended.
Considering what kind of offensive run that Katie Kipps has been on the last 2 games, to have her in such early foul dilemma, how much did that?
Yeah, that's tough. 50's, she's a big, strong girl, and I thought Katie competed against her, especially early. She was really kind of pushing her away from the basket and making it tough on her, and she had 10 at halftime, but I thought Katie had made her work. She had turned the ball over 2 or 3 times, and
Katie only played 6 minutes in the first half.
And then one of the things that we wanted to do was try and take it to her on the other end of the floor and make her defend, and maybe we get her in foul trouble. But Katie in foul trouble on the bench, that makes it a little tougher to do.
It looked like you had bought yourself some time. If she sits on the bench, she sat on the bench for 14 minutes in the first half, and you go in.
But I thought
tied down 2. I mean, you were even one time out there. I think you had 4 guards on the floor at one time in the half, didn't you?
Yeah, Bo does a little bit of everything for us. So she had to go inside and play inside tonight. But I thought our bench did a good job in the first half. I probably should have gave them some more minutes in the second half. It's when you get behind, you got 4 seniors that have done an awful lot for you.
It looked at a lot of the second half was both teams had smaller lineups than they started with.
Yeah.
And it was a bit more frantic. Did you run a smaller lineup to match up with them speeding and transition, or did they do it for you?
No. We talked about it. Yeah, I think in a lot of games this year, in really tough situations, we got basically like a group of 6 that have just done a lot for us over the last 3 or 4 years, and I just got a lot of confidence in that group, and I got a lot of confidence in all 10 of them. But if you're gonna not win in the end, you want those kids that have done so much for us over the last 4 or 5 years. You want them on the floor, and Bo's played 4 for us a lot this year when 33 kind of, she's a tough matchup. If you put a big kid on her, she can step away from the basket and really shoot the outside shot. She can put it on the floor. If you put a guard on her, she can get to the basket. Bo can defend in the post. Bo can defend on the perimeter. So we felt very comfortable playing Bo at the 4. And then we get in a situation in the second half where you got to press a lot. So we went a little bit smaller so we could press and maybe try to speed the game up a little bit. So, and like you said, probably our kids probably got wore down a little bit because I didn't sub as much. That's something that I probably didn't do a great job of in the second half. But like I said, those 4 seniors and the 2 juniors have just done an awful lot for us.
Well, he said part of their tactics was to wear down teams. And,
Yeah.
And he felt like, especially with your fight last night, that it might have been easier for them to wear you down a little bit.
And we've done that to other teams. We've wore a lot of teams down. And like you said, that might be something that I got to go back and look at and say, hey, I got to do a better job in that second half.
How much do you think last night took out of y'all?
Go ahead, Beth.
I wouldn't say that was an excuse. I mean, of course, we used a lot of our energy, and maybe some people's legs weren't quite under them as much as they were last night. But I felt like we got up and down the floor just as well as we did last night.
And I feel like, I just to go along with that, like, I was worried about that. Like, I was worried. We had a tough game last night, and kids played a lot of minutes and a lot of energy. But to be honest with you, we had a great crowd tonight. And I think our kids fed off the emotion of the crowd, and as tired as they might have been, I don't really think that had anything to do with tonight. I really don't. We missed some shots in the second half. They made some shots. And then we got in a situation where, hey, we pressed in bits and pieces this year, but we hadn't had to press for a 10, 11-minute stretch where we've had to – and against good teams, you're not going to be able to do that. But when you're down 17, you just can't sit back and pack it in. You've got to try to do something to get yourself back in the game. So – that's a tough call, but I don't think how much we played or how hard we played last night. I really don't like to use that as an excuse, but that'd be exactly what it is, an excuse. Our kids had plenty tonight. They just played better than we played, and
They had shots that Steve and I were talking during the game, and there were shots that were all but in, and just stayed out.
And they were good shots. I mean, we had good looks. Now we forced some once we got, I think, down. Maybe took some quick shots, but we had a lot of good looks early in that second half that just didn't go in. But that happens. I mean, you look at the game last night. Capital had a lot of shots last night that rimmed in and out. And if they go in, it's a different story. And it was just didn't go our way tonight. And they made, we couldn't seem to get enough stops when we needed to. Even when we started to make some baskets, we couldn't seem to get enough stops when we needed to. But I'm an emotional guy. I get emotional, but I've coached for 17 years, and I've had some really special groups, and this has been one of the best. It really has.
I guess that's going back to your high school days too, right?
It is. Well, I've had some, good.
You won 2 state titles and been to the Final Four how many other times there? Or?
I don't even know, but I've had some good groups, and I've had some kids that I've really, really enjoyed coaching. But this group, we got 11 kids, and 1 through 11, they're just really good kids, and they've worked. They've done everything we've asked them to do, and you want to advance, you want to move on, because I'm proud of this group, and I want everybody else to see what I see in them, and that's what hurts the most for me. I can lose. I mean, you coach enough games, you're going to lose games, and seasons are going to end, and we'll have a new season next year. But just we wanted this one to keep going.
Yeah.
Is that what's pretty much going to make this one hard to swallow for a little while? Because y'all were on the doorstep of the Sweet 16, and you have an old rival kind of shut the door on you.
Yeah, because us and CNU, we have a long history, and we always get up for CNU. And, we thought we came in prepared, but, sometimes you always fall short.
I know this is probably an unfair question to ask you, whatever it was, 20, 30 minutes after your career ends, but what are you going to take away from all of this? Your senior in particular, but your 4 years out here, your whole class, I think I looked it up, it's you're going for like your 92nd or 93rd win tonight or something to that effect.
You
I
know,
have to check my numbers.
It's 9-2.
we talk about that. We talk about that a lot, and you know, I think tonight is when I really got it, and when Coach was saying how we're one of the stepping stones. Like, you know, our program is just going to get better because we had such a great year. It'll be easier for us to recruit even better kids than we were, you know, and. You know, I would love to come. I would travel to California if they had to go to California to win a national title, you know. And I think it's just the bigger picture is what really got to me tonight. You know, we came in, we won one tournament game, and you know, hopefully next year it'll be 2 or maybe 3. So.
Do you have any future coaches in this group of seniors?
I hope so. You know, I really do. I've got several kids that have played for me that are coaching now, and it means a lot. It means a lot that that maybe you feel like you had an impact on their lives, and they want to go do the same thing. And you know, it's nice to see. And
Allison Haas not play for you?
Allison did play for me. So, and I've coached a lot of special kids, and to see them kind of continue in coaching, and you know, I'd love to see these kids. And I think we've got just good character kids, and they can have an impact on younger kids in a positive way, and that's what it's all about in the end. You know, years from now, they'll look back on this as being, you know, an unbelievable season, but more than the wins and losses, it's, you know, the things that we did together. You know, I just hope that they get more out of it than winning a few basketball games or losing a few basketball games.
Life lessons.
Absolutely.
So,
Thanks.